The Cassius Morris Show is sponsored by Audible. Click the link in the description below to get a free audiobook download directly to your tablet, iPhone, iPod Touch, or computer, absolutely free of charge. Thanks for tuning in to the Cassius Morris Show, folks. We're here on location at the Shaw Conference Center, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, with a super special guest. If you could just introduce yourself, please.
I'm Johnny from Hollywood Undead.
Awesome, Johnny. Thank you so much for joining me, man.
Fuck yeah, bro.
A little tired today. Tour's been kind of hectic.
Yeah, a lot of traveling. Getting over the border is always a problem for us.
Yes.
They're tough, and show after show after show. We've been out for like a month. So yeah, we're a little tired, but we're ready to go. Yeah. By nighttime, we're good.
By nighttime,
it just takes the whole day to get to that point.
Yeah, well, you guys put out such a big blast at the end that you need the whole day to recharge.
Yeah, bro, it's kind of like sex,
Yeah, exactly.
Just busting.
Makes sense, man. Let's talk about the new record, 5. So you guys not only picked that title because it's the 5th record, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
But also you guys have a strong belief in like numerology and how that works. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a lot of aspects like that. It's weird because usually when you pick a record title, it's for a specific purpose. This one was a kind of multi-dimensional, and it seemed too simple when we first thought of it. We're like, no, it's just too simple. But sometimes simplicity is what's best, as opposed to coming up with some dramatic title or, to be honest with you, I think we have more trouble picking a title for our record than writing anything on it.
Right.
But it just made sense, and someone said it, and at first like, well, that's so simple, but it was the only thing that made sense, so we chose it.
Yeah, sometimes simple is better. I mean, I think it's a good title, and I think it suits the record.
Yeah.
I've been spending a lot of time listening to the record as well on Apple Music, really enjoying it.
Okay,
so
cool.
I figured I'd go through a couple thoughts on it with you. The song Goes Beach.
Uh-huh.
I want to discuss kind of the lyricism behind that.
Okay.
What's kind of the inspiration by the lines, whatever happened to the city that we knew, referring to Los Angeles?
I mean, it's pretty simple. LA has, it's changed so dramatically since I was a kid growing up there. I grew up in an area called Atwater Village, right out by Dodger Stadium, right outside of Hollywood. And when I grew up there, it was kind of a ghetto, and it was a different kind of neighborhood. Now, the houses that were like, you could practically get for free are $1 million. There's all these hipsters in them that moved here from God knows where. So you see this thing where the local, like people from there, and there's no particular pride in that, but it's your home.
Yeah.
And you get to the point where you're the outsider because you're from there. There's so many transplants that in the neighborhoods change so much, things about the city change so much that eventually the people from that city are actually the outcasts, and it's just a kind of a reflection on that, because there's so many things I don't even recognize anymore at this point, and it's no matter where you grow up, whether it's Los Angeles or somewhere in Florida or up here in Canada, it has a big part of who you are, and it kind of feels like something that is a part of who you are is changing, and it's weird, and it's an odd thing. So we just wanted to write something to reflect on that.
Right. Well, that's super interesting. And you mentioned that you recently moved away from Los Angeles. Is that correct?
Yeah, I figured, what the hell, man? I don't belong here anymore anyway. It's not my city anymore, so.
You felt that alienated, eh?
Hey.
I'm throwing it in. We're in a Canadian interview here, man.
No, I mean, yeah, dude, Hollywood in particular, where I lived for so long, I don't know anybody that lives in Hollywood from Hollywood anymore. And you start to go, all right, you know what, I'm just going to give this to these leeches and go somewhere else. And then I moved to Nashville, and that's partly because I'm in the rodeo now as well. On top of music, I need a side gig, so I've been riding bulls.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah.
How's that been for you? That's crazy.
Yeah, it hurts, bro.
What kind of training do they do?
I just go to like male strip clubs to practice, and then try it on the real thing.
There you go. Hey, I think that's effective. I've seen some chicks that works for them for sure.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
On to another tune from the record, Black Cadillac.
Yeah.
With West Coast legend, my man, Be Real.
Love Be Real, bro.
Absolute legend. This was you guys' first time working with him as a group, correct?
Musically, yeah, we've done stuff with him before, but never a song. Okay. So.
What was that like?
I mean, it's awesome, man. You grow up, not to sound cliche, but you grow up listening to someone and idolizing someone to some degree. I mean, Cypress Hill is such a part of West Coast hip hop. They're from LA as well, and they really established a different kind of hip hop scene out there. So for us to be able to, anytime you work with someone that you're like, whoa, dude, I was listening to this guy when I was like 11 years old, it's pretty cool. So he's a terrific guy, and he's a super talented dude. So to work with someone, it's kind of surreal, and We just filmed the video too for it with him
cool.
and stuff, so that'll be coming out. And he's a good dream come true, man.
Right.
You smoke weed or not?
I do.
Okay,
Do you?
cool, bro. Some blaze right now, fool.
Well, I'll have to hook you up then, man. Shit, we should be smoking during this interview.
Oh, dude, I can't, bro. I already did coke. I can't mix the two.
Okay, yeah, bit of a lethal mix.
I'm just playing.
Let me ask you this: what's your favorite and least favorite thing about releasing a new record? There must be pet peeves and, of course, crowning achievements.
Yeah, I mean, releasing a record's always exciting. You only get to do that. It's every couple of years, so. You can play a show. We play 200 times a year, and shows are great and it's fun. But you're going to play again and again and again. Records, you're talking once every couple of years. So that's always cool to introduce that new music and hear what people think. That's my favorite part, and that's also my least favorite part because there's an anxiety that goes into the business side. What's the label going to do? Is management doing the There's a lot of other things behind the scenes that go into releasing a record that I really don't enjoy.
Right.
And you have to stay on top of that stuff because labels and
contracts.
we've been dicked over so many times. You have to keep your eyes on everything.
Right.
So that anxiety is an irritant, but this really is about us and the fans, and that part certainly outdoes the other parts and our enjoyment of getting new songs out there, whether people like them or don't like them. It's just I have a really high interest in finally taking these thoughts you've had bottled up and these songs bottled up for so long and kind of letting them go and seeing how people react.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense.
Yeah, man.
A bit of a question to let people kind of who are fans know a little bit more about you personally.
Mm-hmm.
All-time favorite cartoon character? It's tough.
That is tough. I would, I have to go with Homer Simpson.
Yes.
I mean, how can I go with anyone else? The Simpsons for in the mid to late 90s when I was a little kid. If you watch The Simpsons now, do yourself a favor and watch those because it's not the same show.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's terrible, but they had these. So when I was growing up, that was like breaking new ground. So I'd have to go with Homer.
Yeah.
Dope.
It's like SNL. It's one of those shows that it was funny for so long and it kind of has seen a decline.
I've never seen a funny episode of SNL from any generation, but maybe there's one out there.
I'm sure there probably is. So since it's my 19th birthday today, I figured I'd ask you. It is, yeah. And this is.
We're gonna jump suck you, fool.
And this is probably my most memorable birthday. So I wanted to ask you, what's yours?
Memorable birthday.
I know you guys are party legends.
Yeah, dude, we act like it's our birthday pretty much every day, so it's not really an occasion. I guess when you turn 21, because I had to stop being worried about the cops.
Yeah.
So that was like a nice relief.
Right.
You get drinking tickets constantly, and then you actually know, oh shit, they can't nab me anymore. That's nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Legal age 21 in the States. It's 18 here.
It was 18 for a long, long time, and then it was like a state law, state by state, but the government pressured each state. I think Massachusetts was the last to go, where they switched it. And I've always thought that was the most redundant thing. You're an adult in every way, but you can't drink. And
right.
I've never understood that. It doesn't make any sense. But
yeah.
There's a lot of arbitrary laws in the U.S. that none of us really understand. Exactly. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
It's insane, eh?
Yeah, oh yeah.
What do you think the legal age for cannabis should be?
I would go with 18. I think 18 across the board. If you say someone's an adult in a certain way, they could join the military, they can buy a gun, they can't smoke weed. There's just things I don't understand about it. So, you know what, at least just pick one and stick to it.
Yeah. Whether
Whether it's this age or that age, pick it. But I think 18 is a fair age, because I don't, when I was 14, I was doing things that weren't legal, and I know now in reflection that I wasn't smart and that I didn't know enough to know, and I think 18 is a fair age. Or if you're gonna make it 21, just make it 21 across the board. Just pick one. That's all I care about. That would be favorable to me. But I think 18 is the fair age for all of it.
I agree.
Where a kid has enough life experience to go, okay, this is what I want to do, or this isn't what I want to do. Because I would never encourage to do either one of those things. If you can live life without those things and be happy, then more power to you, because I wish I was that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good for you.
I can totally see that.
It's not cool, in other words. You need it because that's what you need, fine. I don't have any disagreement with it, especially not me, but if you can get through life and not need either one of those things, then I'm all about it, man, and I would give you props if I met someone,
I agree. As a musician, do you kind of struggle with that, dealing with drug and alcohol content in your songs? You don't want to glamorize it, clearly. Do you struggle with that at all?
No, most of the time when we talk about that stuff, if it's not in a sarcastic way or in a jovial way, it's really a bad reflection of those things. Every song we write about drugs isn't normally it's if you listen to it, you're like, dude, these guys, this doesn't sound good.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be in this position or this situation, so maybe I shouldn't do it. It's definitely not glamorizing in that sense. I think most of the connotation along with drug usage or alcohol usage in our songs is, if you're paying attention, is, hey, you probably don't want to end up like this, so maybe don't do what I do.
Right, I totally agree. And the main thing is the parents. If it's somebody who's too young to be listening to it, well, that's not you guys' deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any age in particular that people shouldn't listen to things. I think, if a kid's listening to music and the parent disagrees with it, I wouldn't say, hey, you can't listen to that, because they're going to listen to it.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the house now. Maybe they're going to go somewhere else and listen to it. It's much more important to just communicate them, hey, this isn't literal, and it's music and it's art, and all these things aren't meant to be taken literal. And if it is literal, that has no bearing whatsoever on your life. And if you smoke a bunch of weed, that doesn't mean you're going to end up like Be Real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or whatever. I'm not him in particular, but if you hear a song like that, by doing what's going on in that song doesn't make you some rock star,
Or Snoop Dogg. Or
yeah, so it's like, take it in a context with your life. If you have a job where you got to get up at 6 in the morning, getting drunk every night isn't something you should probably be doing. So
exactly.
Don't take it too literal, and that's the parents' job, to communicate that with the kids. And if they can't do it, then it's a failure of the parent, not the child. Because kids are sponges, man. They're there to learn. If you teach them the right things and show them the right things, almost every kid you'll ever meet can do great things, but they need that guidance and stuff.
Yeah, just a push. Great advice. That's great advice for the youth. Just a quick thing in closing. Have you ever read Hollywood Undead fan fiction?
No. I didn't even know it existed. Is it just scenarios we're in that are
Would you like to hear some?
I mean, do I? Yeah, sure.
You really do? Because
no, I don't, but I will do it for the sake of the interview.
I'll read you one line just to close it out, because I think your fans would want to see your reaction on this. I don't have this bookmarked, by the way. This isn't my thing.
All right. Is it?
He wrote this last night, by the way.
Yeah, this is mine. This is mine. Okay, check it out. So, which one do you like? This is a love drunk fan fiction on you guys.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, that's mine.
One night off. What do you do when you have one night off? Party, of course. That was the members of Hollywood Undead were planning on doing. No way, they're already partying. All 6 of them were at the local club, downing a shot that definitely wasn't their first of the night. Some of them, if not all of them, were drunk, or at least tipsy. All of them were lazily hanging at the bar when suddenly a familiar tune popped on. Guys, Charlie Sheen called, a shit-eating grin making its way across his face as he thrust his glass up in the air. Hear that? Yeah, this is fucking terrible.
That's amazing. Hey, appreciate you so much,
my pleasure, man.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.